Bestseller collections are one of the fastest ways to boost sales and build trust in your store. Customers love to see what's popular, and showing the top products together makes buying decisions much easier. In this video, I'm going to show you how to create bestseller collections step by step inside of Shopify. So let's go over to my screen. All right, there's two pieces that we are going to go over here. We're going to go over the simple sorting by bestsellers, and then I'm going to show you how to build a workflow which allows you to actually get the best-selling products to show up in a specific collection called bestseller. Let me show you what I mean. So if you have a collection and you've gone into collections and say, hey, I want to create a best-selling collection, and I go to add new collection, and I get in here and I'm like, cool, I'm going to create a best-selling collection. I'm going to call it best. Let's zoom in here so you can see it. There we go. Best sellers. These are my best sellers. Okay, so you've gotten this far. You're like, cool, I'm gonna go and create a smart collection. You would think you'd be able to go and create something here which would tell you the best-selling products. Fortunately, Shopify doesn't have that. It only pulls from existing collections that you have. So if I went type, that equals, and I could go and pick a type, or actually if I go to category, and I picked a category, so if I don't know, shorts and trousers, okay, cool. That's the collection that I'm gonna pick. I could then sort it, so once I hit save here, I could then sort the products here by best-selling, but it's not actually putting the best-selling products into the collection. And that's where the problem comes in. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to put together a workflow in combination with a metafield in order to create a best-selling collection, which automatically, after 30 days, has the most purchased products in it. Let me show you how to do it. All right, so first thing we need to do is we need to create a metafield where we are going to store the last purchase date. And the reason we need to put that metafield in is because we're going to check 30 days later to see if that last purchase date is greater than today's purchase date. And if it's not, it's going to remove it from the collection because obviously it's not being purchased enough. So if we go into settings and we go into metafields and meta objects here, which you can see on the left-hand side. You go to metafields, meta objects. We're going to go to products. And we're going to go and create a metafield called last purchase date. Now, I've already gone and created one setting up this demo, but we're going to go create a new one right now so that you can see how it works. So this is going to be last purchased date demo so that we know it's different. We're going to go and select a type, and this is going to be a date and time because we're going to store the date and time from an existing order in this metafield. And then every time that a new order with that product goes through, it'll update that metafield. So we need a place to store it. So that's what we're gonna go and do. Set that as date and time and then hit save. Great, now we've set up essentially the database that we're gonna pull from in order to create the collection. Now, we still need to have a bestsellers collection. However, what we're going to do is we are going to, let's delete the one we just created here because we don't need this one. Where we go to delete this thing here. More actions, delete this collection. Great, delete this collection. So we're going to set up, I'm going to delete this one too. Delete collection. All right, cool. So now what we're going to do is we're going to go and create a collection. And this is going to be a manual collection. And the reason it's a manual collection, I'll get into in a second. So bestsellers. And we want to select it as a manual collection because as a manual collection, we can add things to it and remove things to it programmatically. Now, we could go and select what our bestsellers are right off the bat and add them straight in here if we wanted to. But what we're going to do is we're going to use Shopify Flow in order to do it for us. So let's head over to Shopify Flow. All right, so I'm going to create a new workflow. And this workflow is going to be set up on the trigger of order created. So every time an order gets created, that's when this flow is going to run. So if we're onto triggers here, let's see if I wonder if I can zoom in here for you guys here. So triggers. So the first thing we're going to put in here is order created. So once you search it, you'll get the order created in Shopify. So every time someone purchases something, this workflow is going to trigger. Then the next thing we need to do is we have to set up a couple of conditions. So the first thing we want to do is we want to go and do an action, and we want to go and put in a loop. Now what a loop will do is it'll iterate through every single product that is in the order. So if an order is made and they buy 3 or 4 products in there, we want to update the last purchase date for each one of those. So we're going to go and do that. So we're going to go, it's called for loop. It's called a loop, and it should come up under, there it is. It should come up under the flow icon. So for loop, let me zoom in here so you can see what it looks like. So for loop, and then we're going to select the variable. Now, the thing that we want to loop through is all of the line item properties of the order. So we go into order and we type in line item. And then we get the first one here, and it's line item. So each line item in the order, we're going to go through each one of them. And then what we're going to do is we're going to add an action that is going to repeat on each one of them. So we're going to hit repeat. And we're going to go add action. Oops. Repeat action. Okay, cool. Now, what we want to do is we want to add that product to the collection because it's now been purchased. So if it's the first time something's been purchased, it's going to be the best seller because it's the first one. So we're going to go in here and we're going to add it to collection. So if we go into Shopify, we're going to go add product. And it's going to come up add product to collections. So we're going to hit that. And then we're going to go and select the collection that we're going to add it to. So we have our best sellers in here now. So we're going to go and select that. And I'll bring that up here so you can see it. Done. Great. Perfect. So now we have our first order of the flow, which is when an order is created, for every product in that order, we're going to add it to the best-selling collection. The assumption being that if someone's ordered it, it's now in the product collection. Now, the next thing we need to do is we need to update the meta field on the product so we have something to check when the last time it was ordered. So now we're going to go back over to the then. We're going to hit here and we're going to hit action. Hold on a second here. Action. And again, we're going to do a for loop. So we're going to go into here and we're going to go for loop. It's right on the top there. And we are going to, again, look at the order line items. So again, we're going to go through all of those line items. Line items. Line items. Okay, great. So move that out of the way. Hopefully you guys can see that here. All right. And then what we're going to do is we're going to update the product meta field. So for repeat for each item, we're going to go action. And then we're going to go in here, product. And this is going to be product meta field. Okay, update product meta field. All right. Now, this can get a little bit complicated. This is definitely an advanced version of what we're doing here. But what we want to do is we want to update the product for each line item in the product ID of the specific product. We are going to go and we're going to select a meta field. And the meta field we're going to go and select is that last purchase date demo that we just went and created. Now we got to give it a value. And there's no selector here. You have to know a little bit of liquid code in order to grab the value. So the value we're going to get is going to be order dot created at. And we're going to close those brackets. So let's go in there so we can see that we spelled it right. Order dot created at. So this liquid code goes and looks at the order. And then in that order, there's a endpoint, which is called created at, which we can grab and then put into here as the value. Cool. All right. So now what we've done is we've done the first 2 steps. We've added a product to a collection once it's been purchased. And then we've gone and updated the meta field for that specific product with the date that it was purchased at. Now, the next piece is we only want to show the best-selling products in the last 30 days. So then we can go add, and we want to go add another action. And this is going to be a wait. So we're going to go, I think you can just type in wait. Yes. Oops. We're going to add a wait flow in here. And it's going to say, how long do we want to wait? Well, we want it to wait 30 days. Okay. 30 days before it goes and runs this part of the action. Now, this part of the action is we again need to go for all items inside the flow. So if we line these things up here this would probably look like this. And then action, and we want to go under flow. So let's zoom in here, and we're going to go for loop. Great. And then we're going to go variable, and we're going to go line item. Line item. Perfect. Great. That's done there. And then we're going to go for each, and we now need to do a condition. So now we need to go and check to see if the order created date is equal to the last purchase date. We know if the metafield value still matches the original order created at date, it means it hasn't been updated since we added it in there, which means we are now free to go and remove it. So let's go and add the condition. So we're going to go and check if the current order date, so this is the order created date, so of today's order created date. Oops, let's go order.created. That should pull it up, created at, perfect, is equal to, we're going to click over here. Let's see if we can go over here. Great. We're going to go and select this let's go the last purchase date. So we need to get that meta field out of here. So let's go under for each item, and then we're going to go into product, and then it's going to pull up the meta field for us. So we're going to see this in here. We're going to go and grab the meta field, and then we should see select the meta field, and we can go and click last date demo. Great. Add. Cool. And the value we want is the date and time, and away we go. So now, if the last purchase date and if the current order date and the last purchase date are equal to each other, then what we're going to do is we are going to remove them from the collection. Because basically what we're saying is if the last time a order was purchased is the same time as we currently have, then after we've waited 30 days, then it's time to remove it. So then we go, the next action we go to do, we go action, and we go to Shopify, and we go, here we go, we remove, it's called remove product from collection. Cool. And then we're going to go and select best sellers. Great. Okay, here we go. So let's just run through this one more time. So first thing we're going to do, when an order gets created, we are going to go and add, we're going to go through each product. We're going to go through all of the line items. And then if they're in there, we're going to add those products to the collection. Cool. We've gone and done that. So now we started to create our bestseller list. And then for each item in that list, we're going to go and update the meta field. So we're going to go and update the meta field to say this was the last purchase date. So if the next day we go through and the product gets purchased again, then it will add it to the collection. If it's already there, no problem. It doesn't need to add it. And then if the line item goes and updates the next purchase date, away it goes. And it sets it. So then we're going to wait 30 days, right? We're going to wait 30 days. And then for each line item, we're going to look at what the original order was. So this is going to go back to the original order date. So we're not grabbing a new order. This is from the original order. And this is why it can get a little bit confusing. And we're going to go and check to see if that order date, was the last time it was ordered, is equal to what is in the meta field. And if those two are equal, then that means it hasn't been purchased in 30 days. And then we can go and remove it from the collection. Does that make sense? And that's how you create a best-selling collection on Shopify. It keeps it updated as your store grows, and always new customers are able to see the most popular products first. If you want to dive deeper into understanding Shopify, or check out my second channel where I break things down in a little bit more detail than I do here, don't forget to join my free community where I share tips and answers to your questions. You can find that community at expertbymonday.com/community. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.